XRP and Solana are both in rather interesting positions right now that could get pretty risky pretty soon. And so in today's video, I wanted to give you all just a quick update to let you guys know exactly what I'm seeing between both of them and how I'm going about it in order to, of course, maximize our gains in crypto. So with that said, let's not waste any more time at all and let's get straight into the video. Now, also, quick reminder before we do that, if you guys do want up to $8,000 in sign-up bonuses, I'm running a crazy deal with BitGet right now. Go ahead and click the link in the description. Go get signed up, get some money deposited. They are running a massive campaign. They're giving away more money than I've seen in a very long time, so make sure that you are a part of it with the link down below. But as I mentioned before here, let's get into the video. So first and foremost, we're going to just go over some of the comparisons so I can show you all exactly what I'm seeing, and then we'll go over each one individually. So what we're seeing from XRP and Solana is that they both have recently broken out of a major, massive macro structure. As you can see for XRP, it was this ascending structure here that it then broke out of on the news that, you know, the lawsuit was kind of leaning towards their direction. So we got this huge breakout, and now it is somewhat consolidating / pulling back, cooling down after that breakout. Now, if we look at Solana is in a very similar position. As you can see here, Solana just broke out of two massive key levels of resistance. Of course, this mid to macro trend line here and the bear market trend line here. It broke out of both of those and is now also currently consolidating / cooling down after that breakout. If we do look at the weekly chart prime oscillator, you can say that our Solana chart here has now reset back to about this neutral position, this 50% threshold, after seeing all of these overbought readings and these bearish indicators to the top side when it did break out. If we compare that to XRP, we're in a similar position in which XRP did get these overbought readings and bearish indications as it did break out, but it has now corrected back towards this 50% threshold or that neutral position. The last comparison that I will make is if we do look at our Bollinger Bands here on the daily charts, what you can see starting with XRP is that we did just get this break through the 20 simple moving average after an overextension to the top side, which does historically lead to a pullback towards the bottom side of the Bollinger Band envelope, currently sitting right around 60 cents. If we do compare that to Solana, we're in a rather similar position as it did get overextended outside its Bollinger Band envelope, but it has now broken to the bottom side under that 20 SMA, as it is now sitting right around $22.15 to the bottom side of the Bollinger Band envelope. That would be my guess as to where the price is going. So they both did just also break through their 20 simple moving average, which does put them again in position to probably see a continued fall to the downside. So what you can see here is they're both in rather similar positions, and that's the reason why I'm putting them together in this video. They both just broke out. They both are seeing cool downs and pullbacks out, you know, after the breakout from that massive macro structure. They're also both seeing their daily chart prime oscillators resetting towards that 50% threshold as they are clearing through that 20 simple moving average on their Bollinger Bands, which does just say to me, okay, yeah, things are starting to look as if they are going to continue to the downside. So with that in mind, let me tell you exactly what these confirmations are going to be if they are going to continue to pull back and what I'm going to do about it. So looking at Solana here, I'm just going to get rid of all this for a second and I'm just going to show you what it's doing. You know, sometimes it's best to just zoom in and just see what it's doing. So if we go ahead and we just simply draw our Fibonacci from the close to the low. Now, again, we are focusing on the close here at this present time. Eventually we will focus on the wick, but right now we are focused on the close because that is what is important right now. What you can see is that Solana did just get a rejection off of this 618 to 786 liquidity zone, which historically will reject the price back in the downward direction. But interestingly enough, as it is getting forced back to the downside, it's running to its bottom side Fibonacci zone, as you can see here. The price did come all the way back down towards this $23.40 level, but it did get rejected back up and seems to be in a position to now be consolidating in between these two key levels of liquidity between 2650, 2566 to the top side and 2386 to 2340 to the bottom side. Now, again, it does seem as if based off of our macro indications that Solana will be in a position to see this continued fall to the downside, and this is the door to get there. If Solana is going to continue to the bottom side, if it is going to continue to what could be $21, $22, it's going to need to clear $23.40 first. That is going to be its main struggle. And so what I'm going to tell you all is to watch this level closely. If we see Solana's price starting to get daily closes below $23.40, I would expect that this is going to continue to the downside, and this was some sort of A, B, see correction to the downside as we predicted 2 weeks ago. I told you all that a B wave was probably coming, and this easily could have been the B wave. Now, obviously, the vice versa here is that if it's capable of getting, of getting above $26.50, then Solana's in a great position, right? Then Solana could be in a position to see a continued move all the way back up to $30, but I just don't think that's as likely right now, okay? So the easiest way to go about this is quite simply look for $23.40 and look for $26.50. Whichever one of these levels breaks first, that's the direction we're very likely going in for probably another few weeks. And it does seem more likely right now, as I mentioned before, with this daily chart prime oscillator starting to turn over towards that 50% threshold, that we're in a position to come revisit some of these lower levels, possibly even reset towards the bottom side. It wouldn't shock me whatsoever if we do at least come back down to the bottom of our Bollinger Band envelope, which does put us somewhere around this $22 to $21-ish level, which could be another, 10 to 15% to the downside from here. So for Solana, of course, I do believe that this is just a normal and healthy pullback. It's not something that I'm all that worried about, but it is something that we need to just be aware of, that it could get a little bit ugly before things do open up and look a little bit better, okay? Now, moving over to XRP, it is in a very similar position. It's just a little bit more structure-based. So XRP hasn't really interacted too much with its Fibonacci levels, but it has created a very obvious structure that does make our lives easy. What you can see here is that, of course, if we do, let's just kind of draw like a perfect structure, just so you can see some of the different options here. It just depends on how you look at it, right? If you want to go about it in this perspective, XRP should get a breakout relatively soon. But if you don't want to go about it from this perspective, of course, you could just look at it from just a more general macro standpoint, that we do have a rough level of liquidity here and a rough level of liquidity here, and that is the range that we're focusing on. Just like Solana was kind of consolidating between two ranges, so is XRP. Again, it seems more likely that this bottom side will get broken, the 67-cent level to the bottom side will get broken, and we will continue down to the downside to get a full reset here on this daily chart prime oscillator. Although it's not guaranteed, it does seem as if that is what is most likely, and so that is what I'm kind of just watching out for. Now, if XRP is capable of breaking through this descending level of resistance, it could be in a position in which it does go retest the top side of this range, and then who knows, maybe we're looking at some type of bull flag, and then it does continue to the upside. That is within the realm of possibilities. I'm just saying that that's not as likely as its price continuing to roll to retest some of these, these lower highs down here and these higher lows down here. And so with that in mind, with XRP and with Solana, what I would go ahead and say is that over the next few days, and maybe even the next week or so, just kind of be chill about it. Just relax a little bit. They're both consolidating and they're both range bound. They both have a very clear level of resistance and a very clear level of support. And whichever one of them they break through first, that's the point that's probably going. That's the direction it's going, right? And so with that in mind for XRP, let me lay out the numbers for you just so you know exactly what to look for. For XRP, we're looking for 67 cents and 20 to the downside to get broken, and that is the point in which I would expect that some type of pullback to the downside will really continue. And if XRP is really going to pump to the upside, you need to see it clear 80 cents. That is the point. 81 cents more specifically, but that 80 cent-ish level, that is where it will really be determined whether or not this thing is going to be able to continue to the upside. For Solana, we're looking at a rather similar position. What you can see here is that to the bottom side, we are looking for $23 and let's call it 50 cents to the downside to be broken. That's the point in which we're probably going to see continuation to the downside. And then to the upside, we're looking for roughly $25.60 to get broken, and that will be the determining factor of if it will be capable of making a continued move to the upside. Yes, I am saying that it can go up or it can go down. That is the point. The point of this channel is not to predict what crypto is going to do, but to be prepared for anything that it does so that we can always make gains, and that's what we do. And so with that in mind, guys, pay very close attention to these ranges, but just keep it cool. There's no need to rush right now. Things could start to get a little bit ugly, but that's okay. That's expected, and that is healthy. Do remember that you can get up to $8,000 in free money just from depositing with the link down below over on BitGet. That's where I do all my trading at anyway, so I do highly recommend at least giving it a look, because again, you can get some free money, and in this market, that can go a very long way. So with that said, make sure that you do use that link down below, and make sure that you do subscribe if you do want access to all of the videos that I will be posting in the future. Lastly, if you do want to see the purchases that I do make, I do have a Patreon link down below where I post all my purchases, trades, my portfolio, and much more, so I hope to see you there. But with that said, that is about it for today's video. Of course, I hope you all did enjoy, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.